There is a number in your head, the one that would finally make you feel rich. And it is a lie your brain is telling you. This is not a feeling. It is documented. In 1978, psychologists tracked 22 people who had just won enormous lottery jackpots. Within a year, they were no happier than their neighbors who won nothing, and they took less pleasure in ordinary things than they did before the money. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why your brain moves the finish line every single time you get close. What that one instinct quietly costs people who seem to have everything, and the 5 moves that let a rare few step off the treadmill and finally feel rich, without earning another cent. Decades ago, at a billionaire's party, the writer Joseph Heller was told that their host, the hedge fund manager, had made more money in a single day than Heller had earned from his entire best-selling novel. Heller just smiled. He said, "Yes, but I have something he will never have. I have enough." Enough. It might be the most valuable word in all of money, and almost nobody ever reaches it. Not because they do not earn it, because the brain is engineered to never feel it. Think about that for a second. The people who clearly made it, the ones with the house and the title and the balance you quietly dream about, still wake up feeling behind. The problem was never the size of the number. The problem is a mind that moves the finish line the instant you get close. Picture a raise you once wanted badly. In a moment, it felt enormous. And then, faster than you expected, it became normal. The new salary became your baseline, the floor you now stand on. Psychologists have a name for this: the hedonic treadmill. Your mind treats every gain as temporary. It absorbs the new level, then starts scanning for the next one. Which is why the honest answer to how much would be enough is almost always the same 3 words, whether you earn $30,000 or $30 million. Just a little more. Let that sit. That is not a target you can hit. It is a shadow. You will chase it your whole life and never once catch it. Here is the simple version. Your brain treats every win as the new 0. You cross the line, and the line quietly walks forward. So why does the line keep sliding away? Because your brain does not measure wealth in absolute numbers. It measures by comparison. You do not feel rich from your balance. You feel it from the gap between you and everyone around you. For most of human history, that instinct kept you alive. Status meant safety, and falling behind was dangerous, but it was never built for the screen in your pocket. Through it, you no longer compare yourself to your neighbors. You compare yourself to the richest, most polished sliver of 8 billion people around the clock. The ceiling used to be high. Now there is no ceiling at all. And you can never feel like you have arrived when the top keeps climbing away from you. And here's the part that should genuinely bother you. You have heard that money stops buying happiness past $75,000 a year. In 2023, the researchers behind both sides of that debate sat down and reran the numbers together, and they found close to the opposite. For most people, happiness keeps climbing as income climbs, well past $200,000 a year, and it climbs even faster for the happiest. The flat line only shows up for the least happy few. So you do not even get the comfort of telling yourself the rich are not really happier. The treadmill is not a lie your brain invented. It is running on a track that really does stretch forever. You might think never feeling satisfied is just a mild background sadness. It is not. Because if there is no line you will not cross for more, then sooner or later you risk what you have for something you do not even need. Rajath Gupta ran McKinsey, sat on the boards of Goldman Sachs and Procter & Gamble, and was worth around $100 million. And it was not enough. Wanting into the billionaires club, he leaked boardroom secrets to a hedge fund manager and traded a spotless life for a prison cell over money he would never even have felt. Or take Bernie Madoff. Long before the fraud, he ran a legitimate firm earning tens of millions a year. He was already genuinely rich. And it was not enough. He built the largest Ponzi scheme in history on top of a fortune he had already made honestly, and destroyed everything. Both men had already won the game. Neither one could stop playing. That is the hidden cost of a goalpost that never stops moving. It convinces you that your reputation, your freedom, your family, the very things money is supposed to protect, are worth gambling for a bigger number you will not even feel. And here is the cruelest part. The chase does not even deliver what it promises. Money helps enormously when it lifts you out of hardship. When it turns a declined card into a full fridge, it changes your life. But once your basic needs are met, something quiet happens. Each extra dollar buys a slightly thinner slice of contentment, and comparison eats most of what is left, because your expectations rise right alongside your income. The nicer apartment becomes the new normal in a month. The nicer car stops being nice and just becomes the car. So you climb, and the view from the top looks strangely like the view from the bottom. Same restlessness, same quiet whisper of a little more, just with a bigger number attached. The thing you were chasing was never really the money, it was the feeling. And the feeling is the one thing the chase keeps moving out of reach. So how do you actually step off the treadmill? By doing the one thing your brain will never do on its own. You define enough on purpose, out loud, in advance. First, name your number. Decide what a genuinely good life actually costs you and write it down, because a goalpost planted in the ground can be reached, and the shadow cannot. Second, when more arrives, refuse to move the goalpost with it. Let most of the raise widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend, instead of resetting your normal one notch higher. Third, curate what you compare yourself to. You cannot win a game whose finish line is the richest stranger on your feed. So change the game. Spend less time on the highlight reels and more around people whose idea of a good life looks like a life, not a scoreboard. Fourth, and this is the exact move Gupta and Madoff skipped, count the wealth that has no price tag. The freedom to say no, time with the people you love, work you are not ashamed of, a name that is still clean, your health, those with a real fortune the whole time. And fifth, treat contentment as a skill you practice, not a prize you are handed. Your brain will always whisper a little more. You do not have to obey it. Each time you catch that whisper and answer, this right here is already a lot. You train the one muscle money can never build for you. Enough is not a number you hit. It is a sentence you learn to believe. So here is the question to sit with, honestly. If the exact number in your head arrived in your account tomorrow, would you actually stop? Or would your brain just quietly move the line again? Because that answer, not the number, is the whole game.